After 5 years fixing our boat, we've arrived in Bimini and decided to spend a few days enjoying this beautiful beach before we cross the Bahama Bank towards Nassau.
Hey, this water is cold.
What? Dad, Dad, give me the tampon. Okay, I'll show you. A sea glass. We're looking for some.
The water was crystal clear and the girls were fascinated by the sea glass and shells that littered the sand.
Oh, so small. So small. Alright, let's go find some more.
Previously on Spoondrifter, we spent 3 years in a boatyard, bringing our 40-year-old hurricane-damaged sailboat back to life. Todd, I, and 4 of our 10 kids knew nothing about boats when we started, but with time, we have repowered, re-rigged, and turned this boat into a home that's ready for the next big adventure.
I found one too. I don't think it's sea glass, it might be a shell. But I found just beside part of a conch shell. No, I don't think so.
I think it is.
What do you mean?
Oh, it might be?
Yeah. Which means there's one around here. Okay. We've got a lot of brown ones. A lot of big.
Oh, why did you give them to me? Alright, I guess I'm holding them now. I'm really excited to find sea glass because I love the look of sea glass. What is that? Part of a conch shell? And then, yeah, that's also part. You sure?
I don't think this is sea glass, but it's kind of interesting. Yeah, I'm trying to look for a conch shell. I'm trying to get like really close to the bottom. See if I can find any like light blue ones or white ones.
If you have teenage girls, you'll know how excited they get over finding pretty bits to add to their collections. They have grand plans for future craft projects.
Right next to a white one, Mom. Look. I found a white one, finally.
Well, it feels good. I found a lot.
This is my collection so far. I've only found one blue, so I'm really excited about that. Hello. Hello. Yeah.
How amazing is this water? It truly was like playing in a swimming pool.
Look, yellow striped fish with some yellow on them. There's little baby ones on the ground.
This small group of rocks and reef borders Radio Beach. It was perfect for our first experiencing snorkeling and watching marine life. It was so much fun to see how many types and colors of fish we could find. The shallow water made it really easy for me to get a good look. I'm nearly blind without my glasses and need to get really close to appreciate these wonders. We're hoping to get me a set of prescription goggles in the future. This was really amazing, and we're so excited about how many more cool places like this we're going to get to visit.
Enjoy being a little cooler. Those hurt. What's sand in them?
Girl, don't get sand in them.
Oh, ow.
They're a little high right here for how. I wonder if we could cut them back.
You watch our boat out there. You can see how much it's moving. That's from the surge.
I'm sun cooking, kind of. I'm half in the shade and half out, and the part in the sun is hot.
I think he's a little too close to us up there. He's moving, but man, he was close.
This boat didn't know how to anchor and dragged several more times. We've learned to be wary of these type of boats. In Bimini, they come over from Florida just for the day.
What's that? Woo. Rocking and a rolling here. I don't know if you can see us in relation to the other boat there.
Let's see if those fall off.
All right, babe. What's going on here?
We're doing laundry.
This is the first time we've done laundry like this on the boat.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we'll ever do it again. I said I would try it once.
Okay.
I hate it.
Is it a problem? Liberty hates it already. So we got a regular bucket.
And a rinse bucket.
Rinse bucket.
The only reason we can even think about it is because we have a water filter.
Woohoo!
But we've been at this a while already, and it's only the first load. I need a washboard. That would actually solve all the problems.
Right.
It would make it a lot faster. And agitating.
I'm a washing machine.
Hey, Bob. How are you?
I think we're going to make it a rule that we have to wash our own clothes.
Hey. That would make life interesting, wouldn't it?
Like, I'll do the family stuff like towels and rags. I just wash everything that Liberty owns.
Sounds like a plan to me. Laundry everywhere.
It's time to get moving towards Nassau. There's a big storm headed this way, and several of our kids are flying into Nassau to meet us. The weather isn't going to be in our favor, but we can't afford the time to wait for the next storm to pass. And since it's predicted to be over 50 knots of wind, we'd rather not be here anyway. Wait for the next wave. This is how we beach our dinghy, and we've found that no one seems to bother it here at Radio Beach, which provides easy access to most of what you might need in this small town. We need to go to town and top off our diesel, so if we have to motor all the way to New Providence Island, we can. This is the reason that we chose a hybrid electric system. It gives us options. Goodbye, Bimini. How fast are we going?
6.3 knots.
Sail only?
Sail only.
We have a cruise ship coming in. We're within a half a mile of him. He's backing up. We're headed out across the Great Bahama Banks, which is a little shallow, and we want to try and get across it in the daytime. Right now we have really good wind angle, but as we turn around the top of Bimini, it's potentially going to be on our nose. We shall see. We shall see if we can continue to sail and do this at 6 knots. If we can keep up 5 or 6 knots, we'll get all the way across today. If not, we'll figure that out as that happens. That has the zoom like midnight. We have no idea, but there is a weird smell. Todd's not sure. He thinks that it maybe just be our toilet because it vents outside. And I'm like, that's not the toilet smell. There's a weird smell. And so we're kind of running around the boat trying to figure out what the smell is.
All right, Tammy says she thinks she smells something. I smell something a little weird. I thought maybe it was the bathroom, but to be safe, I'm running around checking everything. I got an infrared thermometer, and I'm just checking everything. All the connections, wires, everything for the motor, it all seems good. Generator's fine. I don't know what it is, but every now and then we just get a whiff of it. Weird. I've done what I can. I'm gonna go to bed. Alright guys, we are 2:30 in the morning. No, you probably can't see me, but let me turn on a light here. We've been running pretty hard. Whew. We've been running pretty hard with the generator across this Bahama Bank. It's just sitting and saying hello in the window. We've basically had wind on the nose the whole day. We've been running the generator pretty hard, and the chargers for the electric motor pretty hard, because we fought some pretty strong winds, some pretty big seas, and also a very long period of time. And so now we have a malfunction that could have turned pretty serious. Let me show you what's going on. Here's our transfer switch for the big generator. You can see the black on this. And that guy down there is charged. That generator transfer switch is basically toast. Unfortunately, fairly inexpensive, Amazon.com, made in China switch. Some things are rated at constant use, some things are not rated at constant use, and I don't know what this says, but the reality is it's not. Wasn't able to handle it. So I'm gonna have to try to figure out how to fix that problem. So we can get our big generator back online. All right, everybody. It is now 4:30 in the morning. This happened about 10 after 2, so it took me about 2¼ hours to solve the problem. What I ended up doing was pulling the generator transfer switch out of service. The generator transfer switch, all it did was allow the big 5 kW generator to also power the main breaker in the boat. So right now the generator here cannot power the rest of the boat. All it does now is power those 4 outlets on their 4 breakers. So there's a 50 amp breaker that you turn on, and that allows those 4 individual breakers to be operational. So until I get a new transfer switch to put in there, we will have to use probably the small generator if we ever need to power the house stuff. Sometimes the connections come loose on these things, and periodically you have to go through and check all the connections on all your stuff and make sure they're tight, which I haven't done on that transfer switch. I've done it on all the solar chargers and all the battery terminals, all of those kinds of things, but it just never occurred to me to think about the transfer switch, you know, because if it works loose, then the loose connection starts to arc, and then it starts to get hot, and then when it gets hot, that's when it creates resistance and then does things. So that could have very well been the reason that it happened as well, or like I said, just the The switch is not designed for the continuous duty cycle and causing that problem. So for us, that was a major crisis averted so that we didn't have some sort of fire. Everything was fused properly, breakered properly, all that kind of stuff. The breaker had not tripped on the generator and had not tripped on that device. What had happened was the hot lead from the generator just was no longer making contact to the generator transfer switch. It had either burned or melted off and was no longer making contact, so it couldn't pass current through. So anyway, it's now 4:30 in the morning and I'm missing 2.5 hours of my 4 hours of sleep. I better go get some sleep. See ya. Got some pilot whales off the port here. I don't know where they gone, but they gone. They don't appear to be like dolphins that like to jump in front of the boat. Okay, that's 10 knots of wind, 3.3 knots speed, and cat. Good morning, puppy! That thing is 164 feet. And I'm under full sail. So they wanted to make sure they crossed right in front of me. So isn't this awesome? So much nicer to sail with all the sails up, no generators running, no motors running. This is actually really nice. We basically have 9 to 10 knots on the beam. Makes for a very comfortable sail, very peaceful, and we're still moving at like 4.5 knots. So, God, I can't complain about that at all. Especially after last night, pushing really hard with the motor, you know, into 19, well, I guess it was more like 15 to 18 knots of wind. With current against us and the waves that wind had been creating for 2 days against us. So it really slowed us down. It was a hard slog. But this totally makes up for it if we can maintain this speed. I'm going to cross my fingers and hope that it stays that way because we have about 6.5 hours left before we arrive. And the only problem is our sails here, sun is on the other side, which means that whole solar array for the motor is in the shade, and all of these panels are in the shade. And of course, this guy here, even if I flipped it up, would be in the shade until the sun gets well past noon and gets on the other side of the boat. We won't have any solar. But I think we're okay. We end up with a hole in the dinghy. I put a dot and some temporary tape over it. I gotta patch that. So today is Easter, and don't ask me how he did it, but apparently the Easter Bunny still made it. So if nothing else, we can get sugared up today.
So you're gonna go check the anchor?
Yes, I am. You gotta make sure it's buried deep. I'm gonna use the toy. I'm gonna use the tool to do the job. Right now we got a catamaran crossing our bow, which is where I'm gonna be swimming, so I don't wanna go out yet. to the hilt. Man, I love this thing. This is so awesome. You know, it makes going out and checking out the anchor easy. I don't think I'm gonna let the kids use it anymore. I'm just gonna hoard it myself. Probably put it under my pillow and sleep with it. What's for dinner, babe?
Eggs, sausage, hash browns.
Ah,
Easter.
Easter. How long before you're ready?
I don't know, 15, 20 minutes.
When can I show you something? Anytime?
Yeah, why?
Come see.
Do I want to see? Oh, that's scary.
So see that right there?
That could have been a fire.
Yeah, it coulda. Yeah, it coulda.
God was looking out for us.
That's right. Yes, he was. That is what I was talking about. And I don't know if the connection was loose or if the duty cycle was too high. But that one lead, and it really, because it's only that one lead that is showing any signs of heat, it leads me to believe that it might have worked itself loose a little bit. I don't know.